actually be detrimented by boycotting China, because it would not allow people to have even the little bit of, a lot of it actually, 99.99% is a fairly large portion. They would completely stop them from having that. They would not be allowed internet service providers. They would not be allowed computers. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be incredibly detrimental to the Chinese people as a whole, and we're going to show you that throughout our speech. Now, they also said that the Chinese government arrested a journalist for speaking out against the Chinese government. However, he was sentenced for state treason, and we think that the Chinese government should reserve the right to put people in jail for revealing state secrets. Now, it's still a bit hazy what he actually said, but we think that we should respect the Chinese government's decisions in the fact that it would be rather arrogant and high-handed to say, well, our way of doing things is better than your way of doing things. Now that I believe that I've clashed adequately with most of the points that my opponents have put forth, I'd like to go into our three main pillars of contention. The first is sudden versus gradual change. That's what I'm going to be doing, going in depth on it, and really explaining it to you. Our second two are that a door partly open is better than one entirely closed, and that the Chinese support their government, so shouldn't we support the Chinese government as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our first negative pillar is sudden versus gradual change. When it comes to international politics, sudden change is almost always bad. For a couple examples of this, you can look at post-World War I Germany. Democracy and capitalism were thrust upon the German people in a matter of months and close to a year. What happened? They could not understand this. They were intolerant and confused. The new idea of capitalism caused many people to go into poverty. It generally created an era of intolerance and confusion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's directly what led into World War II. It was what led into the election of Adolf Hitler as the head guy in Germany. And we don't want a Hitler-style character coming out of China, because China is such a world power. I'm just going to get to that really soon. For a more relevant example, more recent example, look at post-Soviet Russia. Democracy was thrust upon the Russian people in a matter of less than a year. It was called shock therapy, and Mikhail Gorbachev was actually the one that proposed the idea. What happened? Well, there was an economic collapse. There was a depression that was even greater than the 1929 Great Depression in North America. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't want the Chinese government and the Chinese people and the Chinese economy to collapse. And sudden change would almost certainly do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we showed you that sudden change is bad. But how does that relate to this debate? Well, my opponents are suggesting that we boycott China